Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bumbershoot, where we're covering life's chaos with humor and heart, where we also are raw and honest because, oh my gosh, you guys, I need a professional editor. Anybody out there a professional editor? I struggle with editing these things, and that's why I never do. And I don't really want to edit them a lot. I really want it to be raw and transparent. But sometimes, like last week, we had a 72-minute podcast interview with Brandie Newman, and it was so fantastic. No need to edit it. I just needed to split it and put it into 2 weeks, but I can't even tell you the struggle was real. I almost pulled my hair out 10 times. Couldn't figure it out. I'm like, this is not supposed to be this hard. Finally, when I figure it out, I just threw it up because I was so frustrated and tired. And so I just literally spliced it and posted it. So you guys got cut off last week, so I apologize for that. But then even this, I have recorded it probably 10 times now, because each time it would be perfect, and then I'd try to put the second part attached to this little piece, and it kept cutting off the end of it. So I think I figured it out this time. Hopefully I did, so I can post this and we can head into the second part of Brandie Newman's episode. And then next week, I'm going to catch you guys up on what I've been busy doing and stuff. So we are going to be a little bit behind in our weeks, but that's okay. We'll catch up. No big deal. Super excited you guys loved the first part of this interview with Brandie, and looking forward for you to listen to the second half. So here we go. Okay, so you own the Stampede, but you also own your property, but it's a special place, and tell us a little more about that.
Okay, so that is my heart and soul. It is my passion, Old Town Ranch. And, I explained earlier how my husband and I had bought a home, 10 acres, and then right after we purchased the property next door, hey, do you want more land? Well, I'm from Arkansas. Don't tempt me with a good time,
I'll take all the land you're selling.
Yeah, so we ended up buying the 10 acres next door, and it had all the turnouts, which is why I started rescuing animals.
What's the turnouts for people that don't know?
Where you... The
corrals.
Fencing, the corrals, okay. Yeah, for all the animals and everything. So it was formerly a boarding facility. So it was all there, and my husband's bright idea was to level it all out and plant grapes.
Take all those corrals down.
And then I just started getting animals as fast as I could, and then all the stalls were full. I'm like, I have no idea where that came from. My husband at one point tried to cut me off. He was like, babe, no more animals. But he's not on the ranch as much as I am.
So you sneak them in.
So I would just sneak them in, yeah. And then he would be like, what is that? And I was like, I'm just babysitting
it's just
for a week.
When I first met you had Kid Rock's horse.
I do.
Do
I
you still have
Kid Rock's horse.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
His
Bob.
name was Buckwheat Bob. Yeah.
I was going to say, so I didn't know that Kid Rock's real name, or whatever name, was Bob, and Brandie was talking about it one night, and then the next day Trump had Kid Rock in the Oval Office, and he referred to him as Bob, and I was like, oh, that's 2 times in one week, and his name's Bob. You would never expect that.
I've never known.
No. I watched him on The Apprentice. Yeah, that's funny. Things you don't know about celebrities. But obviously his name's not Kid Rock.
Yeah. His horse's name was Buckwheat. Oh. And you know how they say people's animals often look like
resemble them? Yeah.
So he wanted to ship us his horse because his fiance at the time decided she no longer wanted Buckwheat. She was not a very nice person, but anyway, so he said, okay, well, we'll just ship him out to Ken and Brandie. And so they put him on a trailer, and here comes Buckwheat. And when he got off the trailer, he looked like Bob.
No.
And so...
Did he have a goatee, too?
Well, horses are, when they're growing, when they're younger, they're tall and lanky. And
long hair.
So Buckwheat was young, and so he walks off, but he's super tall and just lanky like Bob. And then Bob will do these little braids in his hair, you know. And so before they loaded buckwheat on the trailer, they braided his
my
hair.
gosh, that's
so
funny.
he comes off the trailer tall and lanky with these little braided dreads. And so we call him Buckwheat Bob.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
yeah.
Buckwheat Bob. Is he blonde too? Dirty
He
blonde?
is blonde and an attention whore.
Well, gosh, we don't even have to meet Bob in real life. We just go to Brandie's ranch and meet the horse.
He is. He loves attention. Yes.
Aw, you have to you pointed him out, but when I come on Saturday or
Yes.
whenever we're there, you have to reintroduce
Yes.
me to Bob so
We have
I
to
can
go see Bob.
Yeah, we'll have to meet
He's
Bob.
awesome.
Definitely.
That's hilarious. So, so the ranch has a really special little centerpiece.
Yeah, so the ranch originally, like I said, I started rescuing animals. Well, 2020, COVID, all of our friends live in Los Angeles.
Right.
And during 2020, it was brutal to live there. I mean, these people are
locked
living
down,
in
masked up, everything.
a tiny apartment, and you
Can't imagine.
cannot go out. It was horrible, and the extreme rate of depression that was happening.
Skyrocketed,
I mean,
yeah.
it was horrible.
Disgusting.
So I told my friends, I said, "Hey, our house is open.
Aw.
You come here
You see how sweet she
anytime
is?
you
So
want."
sweet.
Well, first of all, I love company. And I love hosting, but you know, I told them, I'm like, you guys come anytime you want. So we had just an influx of guests. I mean, a rotating door. We have a cottage on property and another one, and then but we were having people staying in our RV.
I was just going to say, they
outside.
could have brought their RVs.
In LA,
they don't have RVs.
No, they don't have that stuff. But we were just housing people wherever we could, and get outside, get some sunshine, enjoy the land. You know,
A lot
So
of
I told my
wineries were
husband-
serving and stuff. They could get out a little bit.
Well,
that way.
here,
here.
exactly. But I told my husband, I said, you know what? We should get maybe some vintage Airstreams so that our friends can stay when we have too many overflow guests. Like, at least we have some Airstreams. So I started doing research. Well, I found this husband and wife out of Kansas that they build these Conestoga wagons. So I contacted
Like Little
them.
House on the Prairie, but bigger.
They are
Gorgeous.
incredible. And I went and looked at them, and they didn't have a shower or bathroom, and they would put like a little community shower and bathroom when they would do these little campgrounds. And I said, well, that's not going to work.
No, definitely.
Because if I have to pee in the middle of the night, I'm sorry. I am not hiking outside.
I did that in Joshua Tree at an
Yeah.
Airbnb. It wasn't pleasant.
Not happening.
No.
So they put showers and restrooms in each wagon. They're triple
phenomenal.
insulated, central heat and air,
Yes.
and they're big.
No way.
They're
You could live in it almost. I mean, like,
We
it's
need a field
ridiculous.
trip.
Well, that's what we were talking about, having a birthday there or something.
Yeah.
We have to do
I
something.
haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, you have. Well, Saturday if you come.
Okay.
Yeah, they're so fun, and I'm not just saying that. 'cause
No,
it's
she
my
has six
property,
of
but-
So they have 6 of them.
We do.
3 of them have king size beds, and 3 of them have queen size
It's a
with
queen
bunk
with
beds.
bunks. Yes.
They
Wow.
are insane. Like, I'm not even kidding. I haven't stayed yet, but I've seen them several times.
So did you get them for 2020 during the whole thing?
Yeah, so that's when I started having them built, and I got a few just to begin with, and then when it started dying out that our friends weren't using them as much,
They could take their masks off in LA.
So I put them on Airbnb, and they just started going. So then we got a few more. So we have 6 now.
Okay.
Total, they sleep 18 guests total.
And you can rent the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have a party. or
Some
something.
weekends we have a huge fire pit in the center, and it's like a gathering place. So certain weekends, every wagon is just different families, which is a lot of fun because you get to mingle at the wagon or the fire pit and meet people. But then other weekends, it's a full takeover.
Yeah.
So it'll be a birthday party where they just rent all 6 wagons, and
Nice.
we do
So
trail
love that
rides
idea.
and pony
They have a little
rides
stage, and one of
Yeah.
your ranch hands that grew up with our kids,
Yes.
Porter.
Oh my gosh, I love Porter.
Yeah, he lives there
amazing.
and
He
he
lives with
sings.
us.
Yeah, he
Yes.
lives there. And he takes care of all the animals, but he also sings. And so
I was
it's
just
like,
gonna say that. What's better than a person just hanging around the fire, like
Right?
a guitar?
Oh, the fire pit nights with Porter and his friend Peyton just sitting there
Yes.
playing. It is heaven.
Perfection.
Under the stars.
Yes.
you know, Rhonda's husband also plays guitar.
Yes.
And so when we get him out there, we'll have to have like a little thing and have Joe.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I sing, but I don't really sing. But I mean,
She sings.
I'm not afraid to sing.
She's not afraid to sing.
With our friends.
Yeah, we do.
Even though I had a concert.
We'll do like
For her 50th.
friends. We have a lot of musician friends in the area, and it's kind of crazy because a lot of, you know, back in the heyday, all the musicians lived in LA.
Yeah.
Well,
They're moving now,
shockingly,
yeah.
they're all moving here.
Because it's restricted
and
in LA.
There's some really big name musicians that live in this area, and we've had like little fire pit just jam
jams, yeah,
sessions.
like-
jam sessions.
It's so fun, and they'll just
So
sit
fun.
and write music and all collaborate.
No
And
way.
When you get that many brilliant minds bouncing off of each other, I mean,
I want to come to a
incredible.
writing session.
You
And
have
it's
to
a
come.
I would
perfect
love to come
atmosphere,
to a
too.
writing
You have to
session.
come.
I have so much, like, I love to write. And we just went to Nashville and we went to the writers, I don't know what it's called, Writers Cafe. And I was sitting there going, I want to sit around a room and write with people. That would be so amazing. So
You'll-
please invite
you'll
me
have
next
to
time.
come. Okay.
Okay, I
They're
appreciate it.
usually
I'll take the pictures.
spontaneous.
Well, and then you also have a bar there.
We do.
And a little general store. So
Yes.
elaborate on that. It's
Yeah.
so
So once the property kind of started taking off, we just expanded a little bit, and we have a bar, we have a general store, and
So cute.
it's just fun. I mean, it just makes a whole experience. And then once a month, we do an event that's open to the public.
Yes.
And it's a free event.
And it's so fun.
They're fun. We'll have vendors. We have live music, line dance lessons. There's pony rides for the kids and games.
So
and,
cool.
and it's free to the public. I mean, I just,
How did I not know
everyone
about that?
comes.
Well, and she does like Easter, and she'll do Easter egg hunt. So how can people find out about that and get
Yes.
like on your mailing list
Yes.
or whatever, or your
Our website is just oldtownranch.com.
Okay.
And we do have where you can sign up for the mailing list. And I do not spam people. I literally just email when there's an event.
yes,
And
that's what we do too.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
No,
you know,
no.
you sign up and
Yeah.
then it's like 10 emails a day. I'm like, okay,
No.
you know what? I just want to know when your cell was.
Exactly. exactly. But also you have you have Instagram.
We do.
I follow your Instagram.
Yeah, at Old Town Ranch, and
fun.
yeah, and everyone come check it out. Come to one of our free events, and
So
and we've
this
got-
Saturday night you have an event going
We
on.
do.
Tell us about that.
So it's our barbecue under the stars. Our events are normally during the day, but because it's the heat,
Mm-hmm.
it's super unpredictable. I mean, this weather is bipolar. Is it going to be 100 degrees or is it going to be
100%.
80? I don't know. You know? So it's hard to plan. So I told Ken, I said, let's try doing like an evening barbecue. So this will be our first evening event
Oh.
that's open to the public.
Is this the barbecue guy that you told me about?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
So I can try that too.
Yes.
So I'll be going to that on Saturday. Maybe Rhonda and Joe.
Yes.
I told my mom
Sounds fun.
and my bonus dad, and so yeah, if you're in Temecula Valley and are available on Saturday night, it's 4 to 9.
4 to 9, yes.
So you come for free, but then you buy your ticket for the barbecue and
If
your
you
drinks
want
if
a
you want.
barbecue plate, I
Yeah.
mean, obviously.
Obviously, gotta pay for that.
Yeah.
So, and then will you have pop-up vendors as well at that? or
We
you-
have a couple, but we're not bringing in a ton of vendors like we normally do. Just because it's an evening event and
But you're still having line dancing.
line dance
saw that.
lessons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, line dance lessons,
yes.
live music.
love it.
and-
We need some time.
So I know. So that's what we'll be there. But also, this leads me into So how Brandie and I, we've collaborated. So that was a question today. Allison's like, what does collaboration mean in like social media? Yeah, I said, well, bringing people together. She goes, yeah, I know, but on social media. I go, it's kind of the same thing. When you collaborate, you're both pitching in on whatever that social media marketing is. So we're collaborating on physical level and on a social media level.
Okay.
But so Charity for Charity, which we've told you about before. charityforcharity.org. If you don't know about it, you can look that up. So we're a wish fulfilling organization, and we started Way Out West Fest 3 years ago with our friends at Peltzer Winery, and it was oh my gosh, just to bring an idea and a concept to friends and have them be like all in it's just so special. I'm so blessed with God, all the people God bring into my life all the time. And back then I was like, I was watching Yellowstone, and I'm like, I want to do like the origination of Temecula, and so call this event like whatever year that Temecula was founded. And let's bring back the rodeo. Like, I've lived here since 1979, 1980, like Christmas vacation was 79, so it was really kind of 80. Yeah. But we used to have the rodeos and the tractor races, and I knew tractor races would be really difficult because you'd have to mess up somebody's property, and I don't think anybody's about that anymore.
Right.
But the rodeo, why can't we do a rodeo? So I summoned Jason, and I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast or not.
No.
Before. So I summoned Jason Tucker, which you guys know is my like brother from school, my cowboy guy, Heather's husband.
Yes.
Stone. You've met Heather and Stone.
Yes.
As Stone's dad. Anyway, I said, Jason, I didn't tell him what. I just said, give me a date and time that you're available, and let's meet at Peltzer. So we met at Peltzer, and then I had Carrie and Charlie come down, and I said, guys, this is what I want to do. So Jason goes, Charity, there's not enough room here to do a rodeo, and let me tell you, the rodeos of today are different than the rodeos of our childhood. Now, like barrel racing, they have $1 million horses. They care about the sand, and they care about all the things. He goes, they're just too high maintenance. No offense to barrel racers, but it's just like a whole nother level of competition. But when we were kids, it was like you jumped on a horse and rounded barrels. I mean, it was whoever was the fastest. It wasn't high maintenance. And you probably weren't riding a $1 million horse back then. And so he's like, with the space here, you can't really do a full-blown rodeo, and it's really complicated. You don't even know what you're asking for. So I was like, okay, well, what can we do? Because I'm not going to take no for an answer. I feel like we're very much alike like that, Brandie. So I was like, well, just tell me what I can do. So he's like, well, in Yellowstone that you want to like model this after, because it was a hype then. Like 3 years ago, it was a big deal.
Rip.
All the things. Oh yeah, everybody wanted a rip in their life, and everybody wanted to be Beth. And so it was like, he goes, well, they sort, they ranch sort, they go out and they're moving their cattle and blah blah blah. So we can do a ranch sorting. Yeah. And he said, I know a guy that has little like junior bull riding. We can't get into the big stuff, but we can do junior bull riding. So perfect. I was like, great, that sounds good to me. Let's do it. Peltzer was all about it, and we collaborated, and they were great, and we thought how fun to do it in wine country with the winery and all the things. So we did it for 3 years, but Peltzer has a lot of plans of growing and having some permanent buildings built, and so we were kind of getting to a place where it was kind of, we'd move now or we move in a couple years. And I had reached out to Brandie last year, I want to say, it was for Corey Kent.
Oh yeah.
Right? So for last September, we had Corey Kent coming as our headliner for the Wow Fest. And when you hire a big musician like that, you have to put them up. And so I was like, how cool would it be? I wanted him to like shout out Temecula and talk about all the cool things about here and stuff. So I was like, how cool would it be not to put him up at Embassy Suites, but to call Brandie and see if she's renting those covered wagons still.
Right. How perfect.
Because I heard there was a time that you weren't renting them. Right? So there was a little pause on it. So that's why I wasn't sure. So I reached out to you, not totally knowing you very well, but have met, how do you say that? Had met you.
Yeah.
Had met you. When I was trying to get Michael Ray, and so there was a little connection there. So I reached out to her on Instagram, so sweet. reached out back. Like, she didn't really know me.
Yeah.
And instead of saying, yes, we rent them for this much a night, she said, I'll donate them for a Corey Kent's band. I was like, okay.
Well, I mean, what a great cause. I mean,
Really
look what
is.
she's doing. And I mean, this all goes toward charity.
Yes.
And I know how much work goes into putting on a festival because
Right.
I also put on festivals.
Right.
And you are working 24/7 for months and months and months. And, you know, every dollar is going toward either this charity or your expenses.
Or the cost, yeah.
So, and I also know that booking bands can get very pricey.
Yes,
you
you
have
get
to
that.
feed them. You have to
Buy the green
put up
M&Ms.
their rooms, and you know if they
All the
need
things.
if they need 8 hotel rooms. I mean,
Yeah.
what is that? $300 a room?
Yeah.
That I mean, that's a lot of money that it's taking away from the charity.
Sure.
So I was very excited
You're so
to be
kind.
able to
Thank you.
donate the wagons
So
and
very
put them
kind.
up.
I did not expect that at all. So when you should have seen us in the office when I read
Aw.
that. We were like freaking out, and I was like, "Rang," and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then Brandie's like, come on out. And because I wanted to put stuff in I wanted to put stuff for the gifts for them and the little wagons, and she took the time and showed me all around. That's when I found out she had Kid Rock's horse. And I was looking at it going, this could be a great spot.
Heck yeah.
Since we've got to move the Wow Fest eventually, this could be a great spot. So I kind of just like threw it out there to her.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, that would be great. Like, she was so receiving of it. And I found out quickly that her and Ken love to host events. And so, I mean,
The
when
one
you-
thing I did say though, I was like, I love Charlie and Carrie. Make sure.
Oh,
they're
yes.
okay.
Yeah. Yes, she did say that, Charlie and Carrie.
We love them too.
No, and I do too. And that was, they already knew that it was them that was, had all these plans.
Right.
And so it was kind of like a mutual, like, understanding that we were going to come to that place.
Yeah.
So I had lunch with Carrie and told her, I talked to Brandie, and I feel like it might be easier on everyone if we go ahead and just move it. That way you guys don't, because a lot of times with the county, like, you're delayed for a long time, but then it's like, okay, now we're free, we got to pull the trigger. And so I didn't want to put them in a position where they were like worried about the event. And so it's all good. They're amazing and wonderful and loving, and they just want the best for everybody
Right.
too.
So amazing.
Yeah,
The
so it was
sponsors.
easy for them to be supportive of it. I think Fred's a little heartbroken. Carrie and Charlie haven't even been the last couple of years. Well, Carrie hasn't been the last couple of years because she had some big wedding things going on with her daughter-in-law and things like that. But Charlie was there, I think, last year, or the year before. But they hadn't been able to make it. But Fred, their general manager, he loves the event. He loves all the Western
Fred.
stuff. He's been so good to us, and they were just easy and wonderful. And so I think they're just heartbroken, but I feel like they'll even come because they love you
so.
too. And so it's like, I think that's what's beautiful about this community, that we all support each other. And there is some weird things, like when employees change places and stuff like that can get a little sticky sometimes. But I think all in all, you just understand that in this valley, everyone just circuits.
Right.
It's, even when growing up and even now, like even with the kids dating people and stuff, it's like there's only so many people you can date.
Yeah.
You're bound to date somebody's girlfriend or boyfriend or something, So I feel like it's kind of just an understanding and no problem. So yeah, Carrie and Charlie are totally, I told Carrie, she was like, oh, that's great. I love Brandie. She's going to be amazing for you. And I think it's just a great transition. So we're super excited to have it there. And Brandie, you've just been a dream. And talk about all the things. I mean, the Pelters don't own a production company. They don't own a rental company. And Brandie's like, well, we own a production company. We own a rental company. We own bathrooms. We're like, oh my gosh, like literally we're like cutting half the cost because they own all this stuff. And so it's just, God's just,
Heaven sent.
he never fails us. And I just feel like it's just, when the time is right, he directs us where to go. And it was no accident that I reached out to you. You have to know this about me. I'm not an easy ask. Like, I don't like to ask people for anything. I worked at Toyota, and I was always asked for stuff, and I had to like decide what we donated to and what we didn't, but it was a constant ask. Then I own businesses in town, and I'm constantly getting asked.
Yes.
Then I started charity, and now we have to ask, and it's not my strength. So I have not minions. I don't mean that in a, but I have people that ask, right? And it's not an easy thing for me to ask, and so that's why I wasn't asking directly. Like, I might have said, do you have any discount for charities? Like, that is really out of character for me to even do either. But yeah, such a blessing, and God just it's his organization. I always say that, and he just guides it, and it never fails. That's why I'm like, I can totally validate this is God's organization, because these things don't happen just for us, you know, us mortal selves. So I am super blessed that God led us to you, and you have just been incredible. And, you know, to go from friends to making friends with you and having it still be a friendship that we get to, I love to collaborate with friends. It just makes it all, like, it just makes it beautiful.
It is fun. And like, I mean, being able to work together and go through the planning process. I mean, the festivals, I love it.
You're
I get
crazy,
so
girl.
excited. Like, I mean, especially it's a challenge, and you know, I get so excited. So
I love that you get excited. I'm like, girl, take the reins. Like, she comes to us and she's like, okay, I have all these checklists and all these things, and I'm like, all right, cool, we'll totally model your stuff.
Heck yeah.
I'm like, we need to have a meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my checklist. We have this, we have this, we have this. Okay, I'll do this. I'll do that.
And then she's going down her list and she's like, I got that. Okay, great, girl. We are so grateful for you.
Blessing.
So
It
yeah,
is
it is.
going to be such a fabulous event, and this year we're going to break a record for you on the amount of money we bring in to charity for charity. And that is my goal. And when I set a goal, girl, I think you know
I
how
believe you.
do.
Yep, I believe
we are
you.
going to make this happen.
Yes.
And
Bringing me to tears right now.
It is.
It's so exciting.
You know, I mean, we've been to your events.
Yes.
And just to see and hear these stories. I see, now you're going to make me get teary-eyed. But it is so touching. And I mean, the things that you do. And as much as we can donate and be a part of that, I mean, we are more than happy.
Well,
And
I'm just so
I look forward to it. Y'all are making me all teary. Look at you, girl. We're all like sitting here crying. This is like ugly face. I'm glad this isn't like a live stream.
We're just so appreciative of you.
Yes,
So
yeah.
thank you for everything.
I
And your
am-
heart.
Yeah, your
now
heart.
I get why Charity really likes you.
Uh-oh, you really like me too?
I love you. I really
Yeah.
do. I just met you and I love you.
No, yeah, I think
You're
it's
awesome.
You know, God is so good to bring people together that have the same heart, and I think
Yes,
that
I just love that.
it speaks volumes to who exists in the world. Like, don't get discouraged that, you know, there's so much like crap out there and negativity, and you know, I feel like the internet is a blessing and a curse, right? It can bring you so much joy and expose you to so much greatness, and then you can get really discouraged. And I think that the world today, it's full of complete and utter like polar opposition, but there is still common ground, and there is still a beauty in humanity. And I think that we just need to be reminded of it. And that's why I love, like, I'll reshare like special stories or inspiring stories of people out there doing great things. And when you find a company or a business that has that heart to give back, you support it, and especially in a community like ours. And that is why I was like, I thought today we wanted to have, it was like last minute, literally. Brandie, when did I text you? Like 2 hours ago?
2:45. I was on my way to a 3:00 lunch meeting.
But I was like, she popped in my head because we're preparing for the Wow Fest right now,
Right.
but also like it's community, and I think that that's something, and we've talked about this valley. It's really special and unique about this valley is that we're all one degree of separation. If we don't know each other directly, we know somebody that knows each other, right?
Absolutely.
And Brandie and Ken, it speaks volumes to your character that you have integrated in this community in such a short amount of time. This community is very welcoming if you embrace it, you know? And I think that it kind of, I don't know that it really I feel like if you're not willing to embrace it, you don't stay long because it doesn't go with you, right? Like it's something that when we find out, and it's meeting the owners isn't a prestigious thing, it's a connection thing, right? When people meet us as the owners of our restaurant, it's not like a bragging right, it's connection. Now when I have friends or family come in town, I want them to come to your restaurant and your bar and your winery, and that is how we operate here, and we all support one another, those that are willing. Yeah. Which is the majority. I think it's just, and it's not a scratch each other's back, it's not a favor, it's a love, it's a love connection kind of thing. Yeah. And how cool that you came from LA and that was your concept in coming here, and that
everyone has been so great. I mean, it's almost like takes me back home to Arkansas. How it feels like family out here.
Absolutely,
everyone. It's amazing. I mean, I'm so blessed that we found this community and fit in. Yeah. Which I don't think is hard to do. Like you said, it's
you just have to be willing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we've just found such an amazing group of friends. And the fun thing out here, we have several different groups of friends.
Yes, we all do.
We have this group, and then we have this group, and then we have this group. Yeah. And I mean, it's just so fun.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is.
Too much fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's like when I came to the first event that I came to, one of your monthly events.
Yeah.
I knew half the people there.
Right.
And that's what's fun about Temecula. Yeah. Not if you're a hermit, you wouldn't like that, but all of us social people.
Yes, right.
And you're not trying to hide. You're like, oh, hi, and good to see you. And when you go to the ranch, Brandie's there and she'll give you a hug, even if you never met her. Like she is just so warm and embracing, and even if Ken doesn't stand around and talk to everybody, he's still super warm and friendly. He's super warm and friendly. He is. He just may not carry on an hour conversation, but he's so welcoming, and you feel when you go to the ranch, you feel like you're their friends, even if you haven't ever met them. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yes, that's beautiful.
And all of our businesses in town that are like that, the Peltzers, ours, and so many more, that's how it is. And we all have that concept. And we're all friends, but we don't all hang out all the time, right? So, but I think that it's really spectacular. So anyways, if you haven't been to Temecula, you need to come to Temecula. But don't move here because we don't have no, I'm just kidding. We're too crowded. We need to make more room in our roads. And no, I'm just kidding. We're very welcoming, guys. No, but if you haven't been, it's a very fun place to come and visit. It's called a staycation destination in California, but even for the West Coast, I think it's a really great short trip, and we have so much to offer. And you can go to the Stampede and go line dancing, and then if you fall on a weekend that Brandie's hosting an event or you could just stay at Old Town Ranch. You go to the wineries, go to Peltzer,
perfection,
go to another few wineries, and then go to the restaurants, go to Gourmet Italia, go to Bottega. And then you can ride horses, you can rent horses to ride. There's so much to do here. It's so fun. Old Town shopping, antique boutiques, it's just so fun. Yeah, we have close lakes. You can ride the little boats in Harveston Lake, pedal boats. And we just had the Balloon Wine Festival. So we've got a lot to offer here, but also within this, really, we're over 120,000 residents in the valley, in Temecula, actually in the city of Temecula. Yeah. But it's really a small town feel still.
It is. I feel like every time I turn around, doesn't matter where I go.
Can't go out without makeup on.
No, I know.
We can't go out sloppy because it's still like that. And it used to be like that when there was only 20,000 people here. So it's definitely kept that small town feel, even though it's a big city and we have a lot of conveniences. So anyways, we're really excited about the Wow Fest. Look us up. It's Way Out West Fest, Temecula.org. Or you could go through Charity for Charity. There's a link there. Old Town Ranch, the Stampede, all the things. Check it all out. Brandie, thank you so much for last minute summons.
I'm always here, girl.
I love it. We'll definitely have you back on. You're great. And,
thank you.
It's
I
fun.
had a great time. It was always great to see you.
Thank you.
That was
beautiful and
so
smart.
fun. Oh, thank you.
Well, and Saturday night we'll see you out at your ranch.
Yeah, Saturday at the ranch, and then we got to plan more meetings and lock in the Wow Fest.
Yes,
We have all kinds
exactly.
of
Oh, I
great
forgot to tell you.
musicians.
When I was in Nashville, I went to that Writers Cafe, and there's a girl. I don't want to get her name wrong. Well, I'm not going to tag her. I'll tell you about her if we get her. But Emmy, she is a singer-songwriter, absolute doll face. Her writing brought us to tears and brought us to our feet. Like, we loved her, got pictures with her, and I said, I don't know if you'll ever make it out to California, but I'm having this event, blah, 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 blah. So she just connected with me today, and she wants to have a meeting, a telephone meeting next week.
Okay.
Nice.
So it could be fun to have like a little singer-songwriter from Nashville.
Heck yeah.
Kind of a rising star. We'll see. But we're locking in some bands. It'll be all day music.
Yeah.
And
music, bull riding, mutton busting,
team sorting, little pop-up boutique, food, drinks. I mean, fun.
It's gonna be a full Western carnival, and this year is gonna be
off the charts,
bigger than ever.
Yes.
I am so excited. I got a lot of things up my sleeves, and I can't wait to propose to you.
Oh, I just let you take the reins, sister. I'm good with it. I trust you 100%. All right, so we that's all. We'll be back next week with more from Bumbershoot, where we're covering life's chaos with humor and heart. Follow all of us. Brandie, who do you want them to follow? How do they follow you on Instagram? Give us a shout out.
Oh, maybe Old Town Ranch.
Okay.
At Old Town Ranch.
At Old Town Ranch. Follow Brandie. She's on there a lot, and you post a lot yourself, yeah?
Well,
or do you have a media? Oh, she has people, guys. She has people.
I mean, I do.
What if they message to you directly? Do you get the message? If they say, hey, can you tell Brandie blah, blah, blah?
Oh, yeah. And then they'll just find me. So my personal is at Brandie Newman 1, I think.
Well,
I think it's Brandie Newman 1.
Okay.
Just the number 1.
Okay, the number Brandie Newman 1.
Newman 1. Someone, I don't know.
Okay, and Old Town Ranch
decided to take Brandie Newman,
and Stampede, does it have a...
Yes, Temecula Stampede.
Okay, that's an Instagram as well.
Okay, so follow it all. Any
it
direct questions you want to shoot direct to me, hit me up. I'm here for it.
Okay, and Bumbershoot Charity is on Instagram as well, and we'll be posting pictures. We're going to take a picture with Brandie right now and post her with the posts when we upload tonight, and then... I'll see if I can get her to send us some pictures of her modeling.
Oh, Lord.
Let's get us some pictures, Brandie, and some pictures of Old Town Ranch and Stampede so we can get that promoted. We've embarrassed her. Now she's red.
I'm going to have to dig 20 years ago. And now y'all want to take a photo after you made me ugly.
Correct.
Mascara running down. I hope y'all got good photos.
We'll just put it on portrait, guys. That's no problem.
Can you please make it look good?
All right, you guys. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for listening. We went way over, but it was good stuff, so we hope you enjoyed. All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.